Kevin Costner's best Yellowstone exit theory resolves Season 5 Part 2's biggest storyline. The best theory about how John Dutton, who, Kevin Costner, will be written out of Yellowstone also resolves Season 5's biggest storyline. For the past 5 years, John has struggled to hold on to both his family and the ranch, both of which are constantly under attack from enemies who want to disrupt the power he holds in the community. With the series set to end, there are several things that must happen in Yellowstone Season 5 to settle this conflict, especially since John's days are numbered. John has survived cancer and attempts on his life, continuing to rise in prominence despite the attacks against him. However, Kevin Costner is leaving Yellowstone after 5 seasons, leading to a storyline in Season 5, Part 2 about him disappearing. There has been widespread speculation about what happened to John. One theory makes more sense than the others, especially considering the potential fallout if Yellowstone returns for Season 6, which is rumored but not officially confirmed. John Dutton would only abandon his ranch and family if he was no longer alive to fight for them. Any other reason for his disappearance would ruin his character and be difficult to believe, as he is not the kind of person who quits and runs away for no reason. Throughout Yellowstone, he has looked down on people he considers cowards, so there would be little reason for him to engage in that type of behavior. He's always fought to the death for his ranch and for the family members he considers loyal enough to bother with. Writing a death scene for John Dutton would be a lot easier than trying to explain his absence a different way. He already had a cancer scare at the end of Yellowstone Season 1, which ultimately turned out to be a perforated ulcer in Season 2. If his cancer did return, however, it wouldn't be surprising if he left to die alone, on his own terms. An explanation like this would make more sense than the alternative, especially since he wouldn't want to put his family through additional grief. It would be an understatement to say that Beth and Jamie have never gotten along. Their feud, which stems from Beth being blamed for her mother's death when they were children, has sometimes gotten violent. However, John was able to intervene and mitigate the worst of it. He had no great love for Jamie, whom he used for his legal expertise, more than he treated him like a son. But he knew that all-out war between the siblings would ruin their ability to hold on to the ranch, so he was willing to step in when things crossed a line. John's absence would lead to the very war between siblings that he'd been trying to prevent, with the Duttons taking sides. Beth would likely win that war, and John's death could make her determination to destroy Jamie even stronger. Beth was close to John and could not bear the thought of him dying in Yellowstone Season 1. If this does happen, it's likely she will act out of pure rage and grief. Without her father there to rein her in, she would likely be so enraged that even Rip wouldn't be able to get through to her. Yellowstone was originally set to end after Season 5, and Costner's exit from the series seemed to solidify those plans. When the series end was announced, there was speculation that Beth Kelly Riley and Rip Kohlhauser would return in a spin-off show. However, more recently, there has been some talk of them coming back for Yellowstone Season 6. Riley even said she would return if Taylor Sheridan was willing to continue writing and producing the series via Entertainment Weekly. Beth and Jamie could very well fight to the death, which would set up an intriguing premise for Yellowstone Season 6. There could be an all-out war between the siblings over who gets the ranch, and Beth would likely find a way to win it. This development reinforces the theory that she focuses her rage on Jamie after John's death, suggesting it's the reason for his disappearance. All the pieces fit together well, so now Yellowstone just needs to confirm whether it's going in this direction. The saga of Yellowstone has become a riveting tale of power, family, and betrayal, with its characters teetering between moral righteousness and dangerous decisions. As the show gears up for the highly anticipated release of Season 5 Part 2, fans have been in a state of perpetual suspense. The biggest question: how will Kevin Costner's iconic character, John Dutton, exit the series? Many theories have emerged in the wake of Costner's rumored departure from the show. While some fans believe that John Dutton's death will be the catalyst for the season's dramatic finale, others suggest his exit will be much more profound and impactful. However, one theory has begun to gain traction. Costner's departure may be the key to resolving the show's most compelling storyline: the crisis on the Dutton Ranch. At the heart of Yellowstone lies the Dutton family's fight to preserve their legacy, the ranch, and their way of life. John Dutton, as both the patriarch and governor of Montana, has long carried the weight of the family's fate on his shoulders. But with the ongoing political turmoil, the rise of outside forces aiming to take control of the land, and the complex relationships between the Dutton children, the stakes have never been higher. Season 5 has brought this crisis to a head. With John Dutton serving as governor, the ranch is constantly under attack from various factions, including land developers, Native American groups, and even the ever-growing presence of corporate greed in the state's politics. And while John has tried to balance his public responsibilities with his private ones, the ranch is increasingly at risk, as is his family's future. But one of the biggest storylines in Season 5 is the question of succession: who will take over the ranch and the Dutton legacy? With John's children, Beth, Jamie, and Case, all having differing visions for the future, the show has hinted at a possible leadership vacuum that could fracture the family and further endanger the ranch. This is where Costner's exit theory comes into play. The theory: John Dutton sacrifices himself for the family's future. One popular fan theory posits that John Dutton's exit will not be a simple death, nor will it be the result of outside forces. Instead, his exit will be a self-sacrifice, a choice he makes to ensure the Dutton family's future. The theory centers on the idea that John Dutton will step away from both the governor's office and the ranch, but not in the way fans expect. Rather than being forced out by political enemies or dying in a violent confrontation, as many suspect, John Dutton's exit will come as a result of him realizing that the legacy he's built is not sustainable with him at the helm. In an effort to ensure that his family is free from the weight of his position and decisions, John may choose to let go of the reins. John's decision to leave his position could be influenced by his growing realization that his leadership style has been flawed. Over the course of the show, John has alienated key family members, made difficult decisions that have cost him his personal happiness, and clashed with the very people he's tried to protect. As the seasons have unfolded, John's control over the ranch has become increasingly tenuous. He has seen his children falter in their ability to unite. His relationship with Beth becomes strained, and the emotional distance between him and Case deepen. John may recognize that, in order for the ranch to survive, the Dutton family needs to come together in a new way, one that doesn't rely on his iron grip and unyielding control. This idea could spark a shift in his character, pushing him to step down and leave behind the power he has fought so hard to maintain. The implications for the Dutton family: John's exit would be the final catalyst that pushes his children to step up and unite, potentially resolving the season's biggest storyline, the question of who will take over the ranch. Beth, who has been fiercely protective of the Dutton legacy and her father's position, may initially react with anger and disbelief at his decision. However, in time, she could realize that her father's exit forces her to step into her own power, shedding the bitterness and manipulation that have long characterized her relationship with her family. She may become the unexpected leader the ranch needs, combining her sharp intellect and ruthless determination with a newfound empathy for her family. Case, who has been emotionally torn between his duties to his family and his own internal struggles, could find his redemption in his father's exit. His deep connection to the land and the Dutton legacy could finally come to the forefront, allowing him to reconcile with his past and step into a leadership role that has eluded him throughout the series. His journey has been one of inner turmoil, and John's departure may be the moment he fully embraces his responsibility to both his family and the ranch.